what did you see in me in the early days? What did you see?
Okay. You want me to be honest?
Yeah, what did you see?
So.
Here we go.
When I first met you, what I saw in you was this, arrogance,
You see what I'm saying now? Come on now. Come on.
You asked
Well,
the,
she can't.
you
she
asked the
can't be
question.
thin, light-skinned, young boy who was just so full of himself.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were so conceited and you really just
But I was
worked.
confident.
I see that now.
I was confident.
But you asked me in the beginning.
But that was your perception, though.
Yes, my perception when I was 12 years old, in my young 12-year-old mind, I thought that you was the most arrogant, most conceited person that walked in the hallways of Roosevelt Junior High School. And I think you knew that I really didn't care for you. Like at first I thought you were cute, but then once I started to
so how you thought I felt?
Be around you, I was like, oh, I'm like, he's so arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
But then
what happened?
But then
you came to your senses.
No.
You took them blinders off.
No, you were just very persistent.
That's right.
You were very persistent.
That's right. I know what I want. I guess what I want.
Yeah. So I guess your arrogance eventually paid off. But now I say your arrogance is really just, you're a very confident man. And which I think why it works so well too, because I feel like it takes a very confident man to be behind his wife and let his wife shine.
So stay there. Because I want to speak to that. The confidence that we as men must have. It is a requirement for me to be the man I am that God has created me to be. That is something that as men we lack. The confidence within thyself. The confidence. God has equipped us. He has given us the provision for all that we need. The confidence within ourselves. But these thoughts that continue to circulate in our minds, as the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he in his heart. These thoughts that are confusing you to impact your confidence. On the grooming side, fellas, we know we get the haircuts, we look good, we got the crispy fades, we look good, we feel good, we good, but we still are less confident after the grooming experience. It takes a confident man to say, my wife, my significant other, my girl, I got you. I stand with you. I support you. In fact, I want you to shine. I'll take the back seat. I want you to shine. I call it the gentleman's approach, but more importantly, I called it my duty to support my queen. Fellas, stand with me. I need you to receive this because this is something that we struggle with as men. We struggle with being able to support a strong woman. Women were created to be extraordinary as well. So I just want to build on that because we don't see it. We don't see the Melvin and Moniques. We don't see the alignment. We don't see the synergy. We don't see us working and building together. And so when you think about the stereotypes as it relates to, well, how do you all do it together? That's crazy. How are you going to run a business with your husband and wife? And then it's a black business. How does that work? Well, there's 2 or 3 and you are truly aligned to the end goal. What's the goal? What's the goal? What are we seeking to accomplish here? Right? Well, we wanted to create a life that we've always desired. We wanted to create a life that our parents hadn't seen. We wanted to create a life that our children and children's children would be proud of. We wanted to create a life where wealth was the normal conversation in the family. We wanted to create a life to where wealth was normalized within our communities. So what did we do? Together, we stepped out on faith and took the risk and created this unique story.
So Melvin, let me just say, number one, I think your message is spot on. We need our brothers, especially in today's time when, our queens are the most educated, graduating college more than any other demographic. It is hard for the black man, especially to feel confident right now. Mm-hmm. But me coming in to watch the two of you dynamic, it really highlights the power of, it really is couples goals. Like, you guys are living the testimony of the Bible. And while the outside world sees Monique as the face of the brand and, you know, the power boss, like, you are side by side making the decisions that enable her to also be at the forefront and do all the things that she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But make no mistake, she's always going to make sure that her king is right beside her. She's never going to only make it seem like it's only Monique. It is always about your story, the power of your partnership, the fact that you two together, equally yoked, coming together, bringing your distinct talents together, and then respecting your role as her mate and making sure that you always get your flowers and you always get your respect. And she always makes sure that is seen externally inside the walls of Mayel. It is just beautiful to see the true partnership that you two have, and that she's not ever going to get lost in the sauce, because it's easy for things to go to your head because the outside world just really sees you and they don't see the man and the power and the force behind you. And you could have gotten lost in that and forget what the foundation was, but you never did. To this day, if a story needs to be told, it's going to be the Melvin and Monique Rodriguez story. And I respect that immensely. So the confidence that you have is continues to be uplifted and reminded by the respect and support that your wife shows you. So I think that is just a beautiful thing and a beautiful example that we need to see more of in our Black community.
Yeah,
No,
thank you.
totally.
I appreciate
No,
that.
I agree.
And, you know, I do believe that, you know, as the Bible tells us as wives to submit to our husbands, I do believe that. And I feel that, you know, sometimes it can get a little confusing with women who think that submissive means that I'm weak or it means that I have no voice. But I believe that you can truly be a submissive wife if you have a husband who's properly leading, right? And, you know, I never, like, we don't operate with like gender roles per se, right? But he knows his position as the husband, according to the Bible, head of the household. I know my position as a wife and how I need to submit to him, but he still knows that I am a strong Black woman, and he knows that I don't take no stuff, right? And he knows that, like, I know how to hold my own, but yet I still know how to let him lead. And with him understanding that, I feel like it's easier for him to say, like, I'm okay with my wife being at the forefront because I'm confident in my position with her. I'm confident in who we are as a married couple. And because of that confidence, again, you know, there's no insecurity to say I'm intimidated if she's at the forefront. Because again, you know, I know firsthand what he has done to help build Mayel to what it is. Like, he's done things that, you know, probably no one will ever really know in depth, like how much he has pushed his brand to be the success that it is. But only me and him know that. And like I said, I'm truly grateful for his gifts and talents and him not being afraid to take a back seat and still work as hard as he's worked on the back end, while still people looking at me and giving me the credit for it,
Right.
because they don't see the whole full picture.